What's up everyone, John Rettinger from TechnoBuffalo here. I get a lot of questions over Twitter and oftentimes topics overlap. So this afternoon, which is Friday, February 26th, I sent out a message saying ask me whatever Twitter questions you have and I will answer them in a video, which is exactly what I'm doing. Topics range from personal to tech to really a little bit of in between. So I picked really the 13 most common questions. I'm going to go ahead and answer them live in this video. The personal stuff I generally leave for my other channel, Inside John's Mind, but sometimes it's fun to sort of give you guys a little bit of an insight about my personal life. So let's go ahead and get started. If you see me look to the side because I got the questions in front of me, we're going to start with the first question from Twitter user K Joseph at John4Lakers. What video editing software do you like to use? Do you like to use any effects in your videos like crossfade and dissolve? Well, K Joseph, primarily I do my video editing in iMovie, although I have Final Cut Express, which I use occasionally when I need to do some pretty more finite tweaks and sort of bigger editing. Generally I do a little bit of fading. You can see in my videos from the introduction to the start of the video, it's a bit of a cube effect. It's just a standard sort of drag and drop transition. Sometimes I'll do some overlays with videos. When I do a comparison showing two cameras, for example, I use iMovie for that. It's a bit of a pain. I'm doing two video cameras. I actually got to take a black image, put it into the screen, then export the video, then take the first sample video and put that on top of the black image. Then I got to export that again, and then put the other video next to it and export that again. So I am sort of trying to learn how to use Final Cut Express a bit more and hopefully transition over to Final Cut Pro in the very near future. Hope that answered your question. A bit of a long-winded answer. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the next one. This is from Park Essie, P-A-R-K-E-S-Y-Y. John, when are you moving into your new house? Well, for those of you that do follow Inside John's Mind, you may know that I am in the process of purchasing my first home for myself and my soon-to-be wife in August. Escrow is scheduled to close sometime in June, but you never know what can happen. You can fall out of escrow or things might not come through with the loan. You just don't know. If everything goes according to plan, which I'm really hoping for, fingers crossed I'm not flicking you off, I'm hoping for sometime in June. So I'll be in the house about 2 months before we get married in August. Alright, next question goes to Dudet133, D-U-D-E-T-133. John, you think I should get the 3GS now or wait for the upgrade? If you need a phone now, if you have to have a phone, yours is broken or busted, then get it. If you have a phone that works and you can wait until June or July timeframe, definitely wait, because if a new one comes out, you're gonna kick yourself when it's got front-facing camera, slide-out keyboard, can transform and make you a sandwich. You're really gonna miss out on all those sort of cool features. So unless you have to have a phone right now, I would recommend you wait. Let's go into the next question. Your Apple kid, John. When and why did you start making tech-related YouTube videos? I think it's been probably now going on 2.5, 3 years. I started making videos not because I expected to get any sort of following or I didn't thought anybody was going to watch. It would just actually help me learn about my new computer. I was a PC user and I had bought my first Mac. It was a 15-inch MacBook Pro that some of you guys may have seen me unbox. And I figured the best way for me to learn how to use it would be to make videos which would force me to learn. Sometimes, like you, I would get a bit lazy about learning how to use new things, and the computer and something that was that big a purchase for me, I wanted to make sure I really knew what I was getting into. And I made a few videos, and you can see in the early videos I was extremely nervous. I'm still nervous whenever I film, but I can hide it a bit better. And that's sort of how I started. There really weren't that many tech reviewers out there at the time, and I think it was mostly just luck. So hope that helped answer your question. Let's go to the next one. Peak Total Action. John, did you jailbreak your iPhone? If so, why? I jailbroke my first generation iPhone, and I have not jailbroken my 3G or the 3GS. I've thought about it quite a bit, but being a tech reviewer, oftentimes, as you guys know and sometimes criticize me for, I compare a lot of the phones I get to the iPhone as sort of the standard for the mobile industry. And I want to keep sort of the phone as virgin, if you will, as possible, so people can see what they would get with an out-of-the-box iPhone comparison. If I started jailbreaking, it wouldn't be the fairest comparison, because a lot of people don't jailbreak their phones. I know a lot of you guys out there do, but the majority of people that watch the videos don't. So if I ever get my hands on another iPhone 3GS, I will certainly jailbreak it and do a new series of videos that cover that. But for the time being, I need to leave my phone unjailbroken, which I know lets me miss out on a lot of really cool features. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. This is from Mitchell. It's M17CH3LL. John, do you enjoy your job? Does it ever get boring? Or are you always occupied? Well, my job, for those of you guys that might be wondering, about going on 6 months ago, despite the economy, I left my job. I was running a marketing department for a software development firm, and I left to focus on development of TechnoBuffalo and the tech reviewing full time. So in my opinion, I think I've got the best job in the world. It's a dream job and one that I feel really lucky and very blessed to have. So no, I love my job. It never gets boring. I get to play with gadgets all day. When I was younger or in college or high school, I'd go with my friends and we would just walk around Best Buy for fun. The fact that I now sort of get to do that for a living is unbelievable. So no, it does not ever get boring. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. This is from Adrian Lall. What was your childhood like? Where did you grow up? How were you in high school? My childhood was very good. I grew up in Southern California, about 25 minutes or so from where I live right now, so pretty close. In high school, I played a few sports. I played tennis. You're looking at a third-string quarterback. Proudly, I did throw one touchdown pass and took 2 sacks. And I wrestled my freshman year of high school. So I was definitely into sports. I was not the nerdy guy getting wedgies like you guys may expect. Well, probably was a bit of a nerd. High school is an odd time. Everybody's awkward. You're trying to figure out who you are. I didn't really know who I was or what I was going to be, but I had a pretty normal childhood. I wasn't the most popular guy. I wasn't the least popular guy. I had a group of friends, and it was a good experience. I don't look back at high school with a negatively. Although I remember at the time thinking that sometimes things were rough, but looking back, it was a pretty enjoyable 4 years. Moving on, we've got 92 Apple fan. John, at what point should I apply for a YouTube partnership? This is a question that I get quite a bit, and it's a hard one to answer because it's totally subjective. Google doesn't have a set sort of guideline saying, okay, you'll be a partner when you have X number of videos, X number of subscribers, and X number of video views. It's really just kind of up in the air. I know that they've tightened down a lot on who they're accepting for partners. Some people are getting in with just a couple hundred subscribers. Some are not getting in with thousands. It really depends. What I've generally said is I would wait until you have at least, I'd say, 2,000 to 3,000 subscribers and show that you're producing regular video content. That's 2 to 3 pieces of content per week. YouTube, I think, likes to see that. Again, it's no guarantee that you're going to get into the partner program. Those are just my recommendations. And make sure any videos you have on your channel don't have any copyrighted materials, don't have any music in there or, video game footage or anything like that that may be, considered copyrighted. Otherwise, you're most assuredly not going to get into the partner program. And if you do, those videos will be immediately removed, and that's sort of no fun for anybody. Next question, WeeMan08. John, have you been following the Olympics at all? And if so, what are your favorite sports? It's hard to watch a Winter Olympics, at least as sort of a sports guy, and not look at those guys and girls that do the skeleton. Essentially, they do the bobsled run, but just one person head first, straight down. And that is just an unbelievably impressive feat of balls to be able to do that. I've been watching the skeleton, the bobsled and luge. I like watching sort of the aerial skiing too, when they jump up and do the flips and stuff. It's kind of cool. I've also been watching some of the snowboarding. I've got a peripheral contactor to one of the athletes in the Olympics. So see if you can follow me here. My sister's husband, his brother, girlfriend, or fiance, her brother is Seth Westcott, who won the gold medal for snowboard cross and a few snowboarding things. So I sort of have a bit of a connection with the Olympics, so I've certainly been following him quite a bit. So if you can follow that again, my sister's husband, his brother, his brother's fiance or girlfriend, I don't know what they are. Her brother is Seth Westcott. So sort of been watching that and sort of watching him quite a bit. And, it's hard not to root for U.S. hockey, has always fun. So hopefully that helped answer your questions. All right, next, Tom of Action. John, what is TechnoBuffalo powered by? Host, template, or other? TechnoBuffalo, it's not a sort of a template that we pulled from Woot Themes or something like that. We're one of the more advanced implementations of WordPress or WordPress multiple user, WordPress MU you may have heard. We've got a custom theme that we had built based on design images from graphic designer and built by programmers. Hosting, we're hosted by Media Temple. We're running on one of their Nitro servers. When we launched, maybe remember we had a bit of a botched launch. We tried to launch in September. We ended up going live in November. But initially, when we did go live in November, we were running on 2 Nitro servers. Right now, we've got things sort of streamlined a bit. So hopefully that helped answer your question. And next, we go to Gillykid, or Gillykid, GILLYKID1. What happened to the video you were going to make after speaking to the Dell reps regarding customer service? And that is a really good question. To be honest, that video just sort of, things kept coming up. By the time I remember to do it, it was sort of past the point. But I will give you guys a bit of a recap about what happened with Dell. I tried to order a monitor from them. The short story was I ordered the wrong one. It was late at night. It was my fault. I wanted to return the monitor before it got shipped, and I just had an awful customer service experience. I got transferred, and they were extremely rude and told me that I didn't want to return the monitor, I shouldn't return the monitor. So I made a video talking about it. I figured if this happened to me, it probably happened to you as well. And I was contacted by Dell's customer service and invited to sort of recap and share my experience with some Dell executives. And I certainly did. And Dell assured me that they were taking steps to improve customer service and that they took all this sort of action with everybody, which I took a bit of umbrage with because it was obvious to me that I was getting sort of attention because I have a bit of an audience on YouTube. If I was just a general consumer, my complaints would have fallen on deaf ears. So, I definitely communicated that. I still remain not extremely satisfied with Dell's customer service. They have taken steps to improve it. They've got a Twitter feed with a lot of active people on there that can help improve it. I think Dell does make some very good products. Would I buy them all on my own? I don't know, but I know a lot of you guys out there buy Dell, so I have continued to review Dell products because I know it's a lot of what you guys are interested in. So hopefully that helps answer your question. Moving right along, we've got Star Developer. Have you completely abandoned your iPhone in favor of the Nexus One? I have not. Although if the Nexus One was on AT&T's network, I would definitely consider it. I've been using the Nexus One for a while, but the edge speeds on AT&T, which is my primary carrier, are killer. So the iPhone is still my daily driver. Next, we've got a question from Mr. Logan Cook. John, what do you dislike most about the current tech review industry? Logan, that is a good question. I'll tell you what I like and dislike. There's a very low barrier to entry to being a tech reviewer. That's both a good and bad thing. All you need to be a tech reviewer is a webcam and an internet connection. And that's about it. When I started doing technology reviews, there weren't that many people that were doing it. There was Chris Perillo and Leo Laporte and a few other guys, but this is just 3 years ago. There really weren't that many, and now there's hundreds, if not thousands, of reviewers out there. And a lot of people are getting into it just to try and get free products. And I think being an impartial tech reviewer, you should never get free products. That is certainly going to impact your judgment and impair your review whether you like it or not. Certainly getting products to review are one thing, but getting products to keep, I think, are very different. Sort of walk a very fine line, a moral issue. Some people are okay with it, some people are not. Although now, legally, you have to say whether a product was given to you or whether or not it's a review unit, which I'm very happy with. Even in my early reviews, I always said it was sent by whatever company's PR. I want to be very upfront. I think it's important to keep a certain degree of integrity in your videos and reviews. Certainly, personal opinions are bound to seep out, and I try and sort of keep those at bay. But what I dislike most are probably the people that are very, very openly biased, and they let those biases sort of permeate the reviews. I'm an Apple fan. I prefer the iPhone as my platform today, but I've gone on record many times to say I think it's been boring, and I see the pros of other platforms as well. So it's sort of an example of ways that I try to keep my biases at bay, but being a person, it's just bound to happen. No one out there is truly impartial. So let's go ahead and go to... Actually, that was the last question. Logan, You were the last question in this, what turned out to be a very long video. If you guys like this series, I'll continue it. Every week or 2 weeks, I'll put out the post saying, hey, ask me questions on Twitter, and I will make a video. In the meantime, if you do want some more and you watched this far, you want to get to know me a bit more personally and intimately, check out my other channel, Inside John's Mind. There'll be a link to it in the sidebar in one of these directions. And of course, for all your tech news, be sure to check out the TechnoBuffalo. Anyway guys, I'm John Rettinger, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.